guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today I'm driving one of my favorite cars, the BMW F80 M3. All right, guys, special thanks to BMW of Tenafly for, again, providing this car. We've done quite a few videos with them, from the M340 to the M4 CS to a 6-speed manual F80. Now, that car sold instantly. Today, we're going to do the dual clutch version, and this is my first time driving an F80 dual clutch that wasn't a CS. And you definitely want to see that CS video. I'll link it at the end of this video, so watch it all the way to the end. In the last 20 seconds, I'll have the link for that video, and definitely check that out. So the 6-speed manual car we did sold like instantly, I think before the video even aired. So this car is available. Contact them. Email me at glenscarcollection@gmail.com, and I'll put you in touch with the sales managers here to get you a special price on this car. And anything in their inventory they'll do for me. So just go through me, and I'll hook you up with them. A couple of you have already done it and emailed me and thanked me and got a great deal on a new and used car. All right, so F80 M3. Give you my M3 history real quick. I've had 7 M cars, several E46 M3s, an E90 M3. I still have an E46 M3. The 1 Series M, Z3 M Coupe, my M2. So I love BMW M cars. Every time I buy something else, like an AMG, an Audi S car, my next car is always an M car because I really miss having these cars. Now, this mineral gray is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It's one of the best colors I think I've seen on the F80 M3. And then you have the, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like a chocolate brown, Cohiba brown interior. And this is the extended leather, so the extended merino leather. You have the leather dash. You have the Harman Kardon. You have the stitching here in the carbon fiber. You know what? Let's look at the interior. Why don't we do that? GoPro, start recording. All right, so let's take a close look at this interior. So here you have the leather dash, which you don't see on many M3s, the carbon fiber dash trim, which really looks gorgeous and a richness to the car. You have the extended leather here, whether it's called Cohiba brown. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And this is all extended leather, so I believe this is about a $3,000 option, and this is the first with this color that I've seen, and it looks gorgeous. It's almost like a chocolate brown. I don't know if the shade comes out completely accurately on camera, but it really looks amazing being inside this car. And here you have the paddle shifters. They're affixed to the steering wheel, so this will be my first time driving a dual clutch that wasn't the CS model. And then you have the Harman Kardon speakers here and in the door, and the stereo sounds great. Unfortunately, I can't play it for you because I couldn't monetize the video. And then you also have the navigation here. You have a rare option, well, maybe not rare, but I haven't seen on most cars. You have the lighting package. So with the lighting package, you get the real bright LEDs, you get the automatic high beams at night. GoPro, stop recording. And you get, I guess, the adaptive lights that turn with you, so it makes a big difference. I come home late at night playing hockey all the time, and it's really a tremendous difference having those lights. That's what I have on my M2, and I love it. You also have the sunroof, so carbon fiber roof, and sunroof is available. I do like carbon fiber roofs, but for YouTube, it'd be really convenient to keep the GoPro right here. I think that would look excellent. And it's rear drive, of course. It's 425 horsepower, powered by a 3-liter straight-six turbocharged engine, and this car is just a monster. It's got these beautiful 19-inch wheels on the car, and this car has more power than you can ever handle. Now, I'm going to do an exhaust clip. I'm going to show you real quick a cold start with the car, and then obviously revving it in Sport Plus, and then revving it in efficient mode, and you'll see the difference. All right, so luxury cars, you've probably seen our M760 video. I'll link that at the end too if you haven't seen it. I spend most of the time on the interior and not too much driving. Just because that's a luxury car, most people are going to be sitting in those gorgeous back seats. Me personally, I like to drive, so I'm driving a twin turbo V12. I'm not sitting in the back seat, especially with 600 horsepower. But on a car like this, I think it would be an injustice if we didn't drive the car. This car is available for under 50 grand, and it has just under 30,000 miles. And it still has a factory warranty to pretty much the end of 2020. So this is a 2017 car, standard for BMW is 4 years, 50,000 miles. So you're buying an M car that's still under warranty, and to me that's the way to buy it. It's already depreciated. This had an original sticker of like 76,000, I'm guessing somewhere in that range based on the options. And you know, you can get it for under 50 grand, that's a steal. But while we have it in our possession, let's drive it. Hey, maybe I should buy it. All right, so finally it's time to drive. So we're gonna drive in comfort suspension. The roads here are terrible in this part of northern New Jersey, potholes everywhere. The Sport and Sport Plus modes are very good. I've driven the car in that before with the 6-speed manual, and we're gonna just minimize it here and run in comfort mode, which I typically do. Come on, buddy, the light screen. And now we'll try out the dual clutch in throttle and sport. Whoa, a lot of power. And we have the steering in sport too. So comfort, a little, very easy to steer, like if you're in a parking lot. Sport a little heavier, Sport Plus, of course, the heaviest. We'll play around with shift times here. We were in the middle shift time. Maybe we'll go to the fastest shift time up here. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the shifts are like instantaneous. Rear drive, my favorite configuration. Wow, this car is so fast. So this car blows away. I love my E46 M3. I also really miss my E90 M3. I had an Interlagos Blue 6-speed manual, sedan, sunroof delete. That was an awesome car. I had baby seats in the back. I tracked it on the weekends. Best all-around car. I had it for 6 years. It was so good. You can see a video of it in this channel. One of the first videos I ever did. The person I sold it to was selling it and let me do a video of it. But as good as that car was, this car is twice as fast. It blows away any previous M3. This car feels, I mean, it's definitely faster than my M2, my 1 Series M, my Z3 M Coupe. So you want a fast M car, and you could take 3 of your friends, probably 4 of your friends. I think you'd have no problem fitting 5 people in this car. This is the car to do it in. I love that hood scoop in front of me. It reminds me of my E90 M3 with that hood scoop. This transmission, wow, this dual clutch is great. So it auto revs, auto matches your downshifts. Now in traffic, it feels like a manual transmission. So you can feel it's not like that torque converter automatic that'll creep up. But it's a really, really good transmission. BMW, Porsche, McLaren, I think they're the best dual clutch transmissions out there. And the ride is pretty good. These are terrible roads, horrible roads, very bumpy, and the ride is fine in comfort mode. It's all day comfortable. Is it as comfortable as the M760? No, but it's not floaty either. So you really feel hunkered down to the road. I would trade my S8 for this in a second. And now the S8 is a luxury car, not the sports car that this car is, but and I actually prefer, honestly, the M3s to the M4s because you get that wide fender flares behind the rear doors, where the M4, like the whole body panel, is wider to accommodate those tires. So you definitely notice the difference in design. Unfortunately, we're behind a Prius. All right, to get away from this traffic, but certainly not the Prius, we're gonna go on the highway here, just do a little acceleration and see how it is at highway speeds. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna drive now in the quickest shifting mode, since we're gonna accelerate on the highway, and we'll see how she does. All right, here we go. Make sure these people are actually turning. Always good. Some acceleration. You really feel the rear drive fighting for traction here. 425 horsepower. Way more torquey than any of my M3s I previously owned. Can't get away from the Prius here. All right, so great acceleration. Really, when you think about it, in reality, you're probably the fastest car on the road, because what do people use for daily drivers? They're not using their Ferrari 488, their Hurricane Evo, they're using Huracan Evo. They're using, you know, their regular cars. So this M3 has a ton of power. It's about 4 seconds flat, 0 to 60, maybe about 3.9, 4.1. Obviously, it's a couple, that's a dual clutch transmission acceleration. It's a couple tenths of a second slower with the manual transmission. I've driven them both and I like both. If it's more of maybe a weekend car, I'd probably get the manual. To me, this is a daily driver because it's got the 4 seats. You can put Blizzaks on it, winter tires, and drive this car all year round. So for that reason, I'd probably get the dual clutch because I'm sitting in traffic so much. It probably makes sense to just have one car that does everything, and then I can have more extreme cars on the weekends, like the Z3 M Coupe, or older cars like the E46 M3, and I don't have to worry about doing daily drives or chores with that. All right, so here, dual clutch does great. Look at those rev mounts, downshifts, doesn't upset the car at all. And you still have that great rear drive handling. And now we can accelerate right onto the highway here. We'll wait for the traffic to clear a little bit, and then we're gonna go. So plenty of power, plenty of acceleration. Sounds pretty good too. And then here you have your daily driver. Go pick up the kids and autocross it or track it on the weekends. I think it's a great one car that does everything. If you do one car that does everything, you know, people always say Porsche or 911, but you know what? My answer to that is M3, because you have the big trunk, you have the big back seats because there's 4-door M3s now, and you know, your significant other could drive it, your spouse could drive it, your girlfriend, whatever, and to them it's going to be a nice BMW. To you, you're going to drive it in Sport or Sport Plus, and it's going to be your daily driver slash sports car. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to put it in a relaxed mode of shifting, since we're on the highway at cruising speeds, and we're going to put everything in comfort now. Comfort steering, we already have the comfort suspension, and we'll do, I can't get myself to do efficient throttle, so let's do sport throttle. If you drive efficiently and keep out of the turbo, you're obviously get pretty decent gas mileage. My V8 M3 sucked gas, and my E46 M3 is a Prius, gas mileage-wise, compared to the E90, E92 M3. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll get off here at the exit. Ton of acceleration. You got huge brakes, so this car you could actually track and not worry so much about brake fade. Really sticky. Summer tires are on this car. You could go with all seasons if you wanted to, but I would get a dedicated winter set, because it does get cold here. And now we're driving in sport mode, in the I guess most efficient shift mode. So let's see how the shifts are. So now the shifts are almost imperceptible, that they're very quiet, where the other one kind of had a pronounced bang, so you'd feel like you were in a sports car. This, you kind of feel like you're just in a regular BMW. Wow, like you wouldn't even know you shifted if you didn't notice that that rev match there. So enough with that. Let's do the fastest mode. All right, so now we're going to try this in its more aggressive settings. You can even get a hint of oversteer there when you accelerate. Fun car, fun car. I'm telling you, you can't beat an M3. And unfortunately, you can't buy the new one, only an M4, which is a 2-door. So if you need, and I love it, and you can get really good prices on M4s now, because we're probably about a year, again, the time I'm filming this, about a year away from the new M3 and M4. So if you like the old M4, you could get a really good price right now. But if you need 4-doors, this is the only way you can buy an M3. So buy it used with a warranty. That's what I would say. And this is really your one do-everything car. It's very rare you can find a car nowadays. Let's accelerate. It's very rare nowadays you can find a car that really can do everything. So for me personally, if I own this car, this would be my real estate car. This would be, you know, take the kids to practice car, and track it on the weekends car. And how many cars can you do that with? Especially used now, they're bargains. You can get these cars for about 50 grand, give or take. And you know, these were 75, 80,000 cars brand new. I prefer the steel brakes. You know, some people like the ceramics, but I can tell you, you know, from having ceramics in my McLaren 570S and other people that have them ceramics, typically after you get it the first time, you wouldn't get it again. You'd just prefer the steel brakes. I love this dual clutch transmission. I mean, it's an amazing transmission for sure. And I'm a stick shift guy. All 7 of my BMW M cars have all been manual transmissions. So a lot of good things with this transmission for sure. You can downshift, it'll rev match it perfectly. Accelerate. Wow. I just love I love rear drive. You know, you just get that hint of oversteer. It's very controlled. You have the electronic nannies. If you took it off, this car would be a beast. It would be a beast for sure. All right, one more acceleration run here. Wow, it's just so powerful. Now I know this is why the new M5 and M3 and M4 are going to be all-wheel drive. Just too much power going to those rear wheels, and it's really fighting for traction. So obviously, to better this 0 to 60 time, unfortunately they have to make it all-wheel drive. So is that going to take some of the fun out of it? Yeah. Now there may be a pure model, we think, with the new M3, M4 with a manual transmission and a rear drive, and that's probably going to be the one to get. But hey, you get one of these for probably half price. A new one's probably going to cost you, you know, 90,000, 80, 90, maybe even 100,000 in every single option. Here's one that you could get. You can get these for like 50 grand and with a warranty, and that's the only way I would buy these cars. And I think you're going to love it. All right, so now what I'm going to try to do is drive in automatic mode. So let's see how it does when the transmission is shifting itself. Some of them, a lot of the dual clutches, let's go here. All right, so we're still in sport mode. Actually shifts really well. It probably shifts better than I could shift without using the paddles there. A lot of dual clutches aren't as good as BMWs, and they really don't do well unless you drive the car in manual mode. So my GLA AMG and my CLA AMG were not very good in auto mode. When you did it in the most aggressive mode, which was manual, where you use the paddles yourself, and you have to shift, otherwise it would bounce off the red line, it was actually pretty good, and they improved it pretty much every year. But around town, or in sport mode, it was terrible. All right, so I think... All right, so again, now we're gonna do an acceleration, and we're gonna have the car shift for itself. Wow, actually really good, really good. It's holding us in gear, so I had to lift off the throttle there, but it held us in second for a long period of time. Once it realized I wasn't going to accelerate anymore, it upshifts to third. Now it'll drive pretty efficiently, so I'm going 40 miles an hour, and it has me in 5th gear. So this is all 6th gear now. 6th gear at 43 miles an hour. So you can be pretty efficient with this car. You can get much better gas mileage if you're willing to drive it less spirited. Yeah, so it drives really good in this mode, really good. So this is probably realistically, I would use the paddles any chance I get, but realistically, this is how you're going to be driving the car, right? So you're going to be driving in traffic, you're going to be driving the speed limit, you're going to be making U-turns, going into parking lots, going to work or picking up kids, and that's what makes this car so special, because you can do all those things. There's really no downside for this car. I mean, the new model isn't out yet. It's already depreciated. It's not going to go that much lower. You have a warranty, you have amazing performance. You can get a stick or a manual transmission, you can get a sunroof or a carbon fiber roof. It's rear drive, so what's the downside? You know, this is probably one of the few cars there really are no downsides. All right guys, I'm gonna drive this car more, and I'm really thinking of taking this home. Maybe I should trade the S8 for it. If I could trade the S8 straight up, I would do it right this second, but unfortunately, this car's worth more than my S8. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And as always, leave your positive comments below. I respond to each and every comment. Thanks, and check out BMW Tenafly. They provided the car. They provided us with so many cars. If you're going to buy a new or used BMW or used anything, check out their website and tell them Glenn sent you. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.